So let's talk about the elections. We were all anticipating and hoping it would have this turnout, but what a win for, first of all, the matriarchy and for Democrats in general. And our first, well, it's not our first. New York has had a socialist mayor before, and they actually memorialized him through airports and roads and everything.
Hmm.
Um, but what I love about Mamdani's win is that he's run on one message. The message is affordability, that every American deserves to afford a good life. And the American dream isn't about becoming a billionaire. It's about being able to afford food and groceries for your family, transportation, maintaining a good job and dignity for your life. And that's what he ran on. He did not stutter. He did not ever sway from that main message. And I think Republicans, billionaires, oligarchs, they're scared of that message because they don't want us to know, they don't want us to realize, or they don't want us to stop fighting with each other and realize that we all want the same thing.
Yeah, and I would go as far as to say like he ran on actually fixing some problems. Like so
Mhm.
much Democrats are always like, well, we just can't do much about it,
Yeah, you're
things are
right.
just the way they are, what can we
Mhm.
do about housing prices? It's a free market. And it's like, no, there is no free market, first of all. The wealthy and the rich and corporations have rigged the game in so many ways. That's especially with Citizens United. When you have a lot of money, you can change, you can rig the system, you can rig the
Mhm.
politicians, put them on your payroll. And no, that's not acceptable. We don't have to live that way. And saying that, look, if the market can't fix it, then we're going to fix it. That's
Mhm.
throughout American history, we've done that. We've done that going back to the American Revolution and the Civil War and FDR and the New Deal. I mean, we had, um, uh, that we had a period of time in the late 1800s, early 1900s, whenever it was just extreme wealth inequality, and it created a Great Depression. Like it's
Mhm.
gonna affect everybody, and like this is a way to say no. We're not gonna allow a Great Depression to happen. We're gonna fix it before it happens. We're gonna have these things that protect people because the market doesn't take care of people at all. And I think that's what the wealthy and the rich are scared about. They want to demonize, call him a socialist, whatever. They did the same thing to FDR. I mean, if you go back and look at all the old footage, I mean, they were constantly calling him a socialist. Basically, socialist just means to like fix things in the system that are broken. They're going to call you that no matter what. But it's up to us as Democrats to actually do something about it. And I think that's how we win power. Uh, for generations to come by stepping up and fixing all of these problems that we have across the United States.
Yeah, and I think people are on a mass basis coming around to this idea of we don't believe you when you say there's no money for it. You know,
Right.
like healthcare, shelter, food, those are rights we should all have as Americans, as the wealthiest country in the world. And people are wising up to the fact that when we are asking for those basic needs, there's never enough money. But when it comes to entering wars overseas, um, there's always money. Or when it comes to tax cuts for the wealthy and giving them even more loopholes and tax benefits, there's money for that. But there's never money for the things that people really want. And people are
Yes.
getting wise to that. People are getting wise. We know there's money.
And the
Um,
audacity and the greed, like you have billions and billions of dollars, more than enough money for yourself and your children and your grandkids and everybody else to live like kings for the rest of their life. And you're scared of like a 2% increase on your income. Like working class people get ups. Like we're getting 2% increases in groceries by the
yeah.
year.
Mhm.
And sales tax increases,
Mhm.
taking away services. I mean, like working class people are getting killed all the time, and then billionaires are going to cry about a 2% increase. It's like, come on, stop being a baby about it. And first of all, it's terrible for the economy to have this extreme wealth inequality. When working class people, like the majority of the United States, the bottom 80%, like if we have more money in our pocket, we spend more, the economy goes more.
Mhm.
You
Mm,
know, whenever
mhm.
billionaires just, if they keep it up, it stays in a bank account. It doesn't go back through the economy. It gets richer and richer and richer. There's like a wealth acceleration effect that they don't work for it at all. Once you make so much money, the money itself grows so fast that you don't do anything. So it's not
And
contributing to the economy in any way.
they can't spend it in their lifetime, they can't spend it in their children's lifetime, and they can't spend it in their grandchildren's lifetime. It's just these giant man baby egos trying to compete for who can have the largest net worth, and it means nothing. And like I said, people are wising up to that. They're getting tired, and I think this blue wave is about that. The
Yeah,
wealth inequality is going mainstream. I think your traditional Republicans and especially your independents, especially, are having enough of it.
yeah, I love what Ramit said. I forgot Ramit's last name, but he's been saying it's such bullshit whenever the they always like say that like, oh, we're going to move away from New York, or we're going to move out of California, or we're going to move out of whatever these high tech places are, and they don't. It's a complete BS. They stay there because that's where the economic engine is. That's where their companies is. That's where their family and friends are. It's a little bit more that they pay for the very huge amount of wealth that they have, and they don't want to move to Louisiana because we we have low taxes, but we have no freaking services. Like, you know what I mean? We can
Quality
barely
of
even build
life.
a bridge over here. Yeah, yeah, you know, you pay no taxes over here, but you'll have a lower quality of life, no school, you know, you're dealing with pollution all the time. Like they don't want to move there. So I love how it's like, and they're all now saying, well, because they all threatened that they're going to move if
Yeah,
Zoran got elected. Now they're like, well, we got we got to
we
stay.
have to stay and
You got to stay
defend.
and protect our beloved New York. Oh, okay, such
Sure.
liars, such bullshit.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, you do that. You go ahead and stay. And for those leaving,
Yeah, you're gonna stay.
let us know about those listings, he said. I just love that. He's like, "Okay, who's leaving?
Yeah,
Give me the link. Send me the Zillow
exactly.
link."
And like you said at the top of it, thank you matriarchy, thank you women who are voting at just awesome levels, 70, 80,
The
ninety
women,
percent for all of these
those the
Democrats.
percentages for the Democrats and for
Hmm.
the women, I
So thank
just
you
am
women.
so proud. We're ready. We're ready. Just hand us the keys. Hand them over. We're ready.
And thank you, Gen Z. Gen Z is like showing like, nope,
Mhm.
we ain't no conservatives. We ain't Republicans, you know, like
Yeah.
everybody's been painting them to be, you know,
Yeah.
Republicans have been like doing victory laps nonstop over the past year about how they won over Gen Z. And we're seeing that that's not the case. And even young men, I'm, I'm, you know, I'm feeling a little bit better about the men. They came around, they voted. Actually, they voted for higher numbers for like Zoran. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like the more
Look,
left,
that
it shows like, hey, Democrats, we have a weakness with men and young white men, but they blew out the numbers for Zoran. So what does that say?
I'll tell you what it says. That loneliness epidemic is real. They can't get a date. They can't get any respect, and it's because of your political beliefs a lot of the time. So,
Yeah, I
you
mean
know,
the
I
smart
think
ones are like, okay, we have a lot of young white men that are gone Trump. I mean, and the women are just aren't having it. You know, if you're a smart young white man, it'd be like, okay, now you
I
have
think
a lot more options here. You
I
know?
think the guys were sold on this like 50s dream of like the patriarchy and alpha maleness, and they're realizing like what that really means, how it we've seen just in this year like what that means with policies. They are actually seeing how it's affecting their children, their mothers, their sisters, um and I think a lot of people are realizing things, and I think that generation surely has had some aha moments this year, and just realizing that they they were on the wrong side, or maybe they weren't showing up. Maybe it was
Yeah.
just the far right younger generation showing up to the polls, and the more left leaning ones just having some complacency and apathy, and that could have changed in the last past year too, and they're just actually
Yeah.
showing up to the polls. I
Yeah,
mean,
and
to the
young
vote.
men are impressionable, you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
remember it took me a while to kind of find my way in college, but from like when I was 18 to 20, like I didn't know much about politics. I was very impressionable, just kind of what our
Mhm.
parents said or whatever. And then, started really finding my way and questioning things, especially with my philosophy classes in college and stuff. So I
Mhm.
mean, we can't give up on the young. They're getting hurt
Mm-mm.
too. They've been
Mhm.
fed about fear that it's women's fault, that it's this fault. That's
Mhm.
why you're not doing well. And I think they're going to learn, and we're seeing them that that it's a black hole for them if they stay on that track. It's not going to do anything good for them at all. So it's good to
Listen,
see that we can win them back.
the Republicans got to be scared because Mississippi flipped some red seats.
Yes,
Mississippi, Mississippi's on
yes.
par with Louisiana as far as like 50th, lower, upper 45 and up on all the lists. Super majority Republicans, probably 75, 80% red state, and they are
Hmm.
flipping seats. And if they can do it, Louisiana can do it, and every other red state in the South or Middle America
We
can
got
do
a
it
we
too.
got a ball game in 2027. That's whenever Louisiana has our we got a ball game in 2026 as well. Um, but in our legislative seats, like Mississippi just had, we have a chance to take a lot of the seats back because we've hemorrhaged a lot of seats over the past 10, 20 years. I think we can get them back. The Voting Rights Act, uh, if they uphold the Voting Rights Act, we'll for sure flip a lot because they're going to have to
Mhm.
redistrict and add a lot of more fair districts so we can win all those back and probably more because more people are going to be excited to vote. Like it's going to be really bad for the Republicans if the Voting Rights Act gets held. Even if it goes down, they got to be worrying too because they're pissing off a lot of people. So we can
Mhm.
turn out because they we always have to
Karma and
remember
repercussions.
I mean, look at Texas. I mean, Texas is like a 47-53 state. Um, and they just took away a lot of Democratic seats, but they're counting on a lot of those Latinos people that maybe voted for Trump. They are not sticking. A lot of them are changing back, and so they're watering down a lot of Republican seats by taking away those Democratic seats, and
Mhm.
it could
That's right.
backfire on them big time. And I hope they're realizing that, especially the congressmen that are in. They're like they know that their seat, a lot of the Texas congressmen, Louisiana congressmen, if we take away those Democratic seats, it's going to have to water down theirs with more Democrats. And they've got to
Mhm.
be feeling the pressure. And then
Mhm.
at the end of the night, Prop 50 got passed for
Prop
California.
50.
And it's
They
like,
done they done fucked up now.
they done fucked up now. But Gavin Newsom over there, like, I don't know.
Oh.
We got to be feeling good. And even Trump knows it. Trump's freaking out. Like, and now he's talking about affordability. He's like, next year, we're going to get to affordability, is what he just
I
said
heard that, but
yesterday.
I feel like I've heard that before. Hmm.
Next year. Yeah,
Hmm.
he's definitely freaking out because all of his plans rely on them keep stealing 2026. Um, so because that's the Congress that certifies the 2028 election, they're going to have so many shenanigans, and it's not good for them to have this wave, this tsunami that's happening already. He's got to be freaking out because he's breaking laws by the day. Um, he better watch out because he's going to be in trouble. He's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I just worry about I always worry about the pendulum swing, even in these small things. So, like, what we're witnessing is a pendulum swing in the other direction towards Democrats. And that Trump pendulum swing is a wild card. So, like, I'm worried that and him and Stephen Miller, the administration, what are they going to double down on? What are they going to go harder on? Because I don't think, because they don't, you can sit here and think logically like, oh, they better rethink these strategies because it's going to backfire. But I don't think that that's how they're going to go. I just think that it could potentially get worse from here. We know that it has to get worse, and that's not necessarily my pessimism talking. That's just my,
If Trump was
realist.
Yeah, I mean, if he was smart, I mean, he could keep power by just like
A big
saying,
if.
"Hey, we're going to do an infrastructure plan and ram it through," or we're gonna allow these like he could go kind of Democrat a little bit and preserve his power, but no, he has to go be on a path of vengeance. He has to flood his pockets. He's got to
Mhm.
rig the game and everything. So I think right now he's probably thinking, "Oh, maybe I should go back to everything I promised." He's probably thinking about it right now. But as soon as he gets pushback from Democrats in Congress, which hopefully they'll hold the line on that, he's going to go right back to just being vindictive, and it's going to
Mhm.
be even more unpopular. He's going to do some crazier stuff. I think some more. I mean, as bad as it is, he's going to ramp it up, in my opinion. And the Republicans are going to become more and more unpopular in the coming years and in the last years of his presidency. And he's in the process. I think he already killed the Republican Party, but he's in the process of killing their electoral hopes uh, for years when he's gone. And I'm okay with that part,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
not okay with all the sacrifices that we're going to have to take. I mean, he could bring us in
Mhm.
a war,
Mhm.
starving people. I mean, there's so many things that which I knew he would probably do because that's the kind of person he is.
What do you think he's gonna do with Venezuela? I mean, I know he's still bombing boats willy-nilly. Do you think that that's still a strategy on the playbook of starting a war with Venezuela?
It seems to be because we're positioning a lot of ships over there. We're killing people willy nilly over there, and it looks like we're positioning some kind of Bay of Pigs invasion where they're going to try to take out the leader over there. Um, and again, Venezuela is not really much of a threat at all to America, but of course, there's a lot of oil over there, and Trump loves going after places and stealing their oil. Um, so. I think too, Heather Cox Richardson mentioned the other day, it also plays into this, um, it plays into the ICE stuff that they're all drug dealers and stuff like
Mhm.
that, or they're all criminals. He's already saying that Venezuela is like sending fentanyl, which they're not. They're not like sending tons of drugs to us. It's just a lie, but it backs up his other lies. So
And it
I don't know what he's going to do. To me, it would be a stupid move to invade him, but I don't know.
yeah. And personally, we're worried. We know Stephen Miller really wants to amplify denaturalization. And so that's our biggest fear as I am married to a naturalized Venezuelan citizen that that's going to be an easy pathway to start targeting that.
I don't see how they can continue with that because I think a lot of what we saw with the blue tsunami the other day is extreme unpopularity on their immigration tactics. Like Stephen Miller
Mhm.
is not popular at all. People hate that. So,
Well, he's the cartoon villain.
and
How do you like
denaturalization,
get behind him?
yeah, I mean, it's against the Constitution. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try things, but I don't know. This was a big blow to them. I really don't know how they're going to be able to move forward with a lot of the crazy stuff they're doing. I think maybe
Yeah, I
if
mean,
they do, it's going to keep blowing up on them.
did you see they went to a children's daycare this week?
Yes, yes.
And we're taking US citizens, the children were crying, and
Sending
also
masked
saw
men
that
in a daycare. I mean,
and also saw ICE driving. They uh, they kidnapped a U.S. citizen who had a baby in the back of the car, and ICE drove off with the baby. Uh, I don't know what they think that they're doing with this. I think that they've just hired a bunch of goons, a bunch of
Well, yeah,
wannabe
that's it.
military,
These are not
wannabe
trained people.
cops,
Yeah.
very low skilled, vengeful, racist people who've been given the opportunity to carry a gun and act macho towards the people that they inherently hate.
Mhm.
And it's not going to stand. It's
And they're giving
disgusting.
quotas. Yeah, they're giving
Disgusting.
quotas to just do it by all means, any means necessary. Um, and those videos, thank God, people are taking these videos
Yes,
because it's just
so
horrifying.
important.
And I think that is what we're seeing. I think that's going to solidify our blue wave into 2026 too. So as
No,
terrible as it
nobody
is,
wants this. Nobody wants this.
yeah. Speaking of, Congress, here we are, longest shutdown ever. I mean, Mike Johnson from Louisiana, he's coming off looking really bad about this. Um,
Oh,
he's
every answer he gives is, "Oh, I haven't heard about that. I don't know about that." How can he continue to have that remark? I want to see the press start to push back on his uh pretend ignorance.
yeah,
It's
and the way they're trying to like frame this like Republicans actually care about SNAP. You know what I mean? Like I think that's what's not working either. Like because um they're starving people, and they will be. They're already cutting it. Grocery prices are so high. These are a lot. SNAP is in a lot of places that voted for Trump, so a lot of these are their own people that rely
Mhm,
on this. And to all of a sudden act like Democrats don't care about SNAP. That's what they're trying to do. And I don't think the
mhm,
American people are like processing that. Like they're calling bullshit on it. Like
mhm,
Trump and them and these same Republican congressmen like cut SNAP by like billions, like tens of billions or $100 billion. Okay. They cut our our healthcare subsidies. Okay. And there's money in an emergency fund, which
right,
we're
right,
trying
right.
to get. Then Trump was like, no, we can't do that. And then the courts are like, yes, you have to. He's like, no, I'm still not going to do it.
Mhm,
We tried, Democrats have tried to do a standalone bill to fund SNAP in the Senate. There's like 30 Senate Republicans voted against it. They do not want SNAP to happen. They know that Democrats really care about SNAP and they think that we may back off over that. But it drives me nuts seeing Mike Johnson and Julia Letlow. She's Miss. Just really care about our children. She went to a food bank. The Democrats just need to open the government. It's like, come on, you're so full of shit. Y'all did this.
such a
Y'all don't care
hypocrite.
about poor people. Y'all don't care about any of this stuff. You voted for this. Don't sit
Mhm,
here and blame Democrats for it. And I
mhm,
think the American people, thankfully, are calling bullshit on that.
mhm, mhm. Okay, can we talk about the Marjorie Taylor Greene tea?
Mm, yes, we can.
I mean, I'm here for it. Look, so AOC on election night basically spilled the tea that, hey, guess what? Marjorie Taylor Greene is seemingly turning on the Republicans and the administration because supposedly Trump denied her to run for the Senate.
Yeah.
Is it Senate or
For
uh
you, for yeah,
yeah,
Senate in Georgia.
Senate in
Yeah.
Georgia? And they
Yeah,
said,
I
"Nope,
guess against John Ossoff.
she's the first on the chopping block," and she said no. She said,
Yeah.
"No, I will not be on the chopping block and you will pay for this." And so now she's on this tour that she's threatening that just this morning I saw now she's threatening to release the Epstein names, the people who have abused these
Thank you,
women.
Marjorie. Thank you.
I mean, again, I'll take it, you know. let's get to that part. Um, I hope she has some good bodyguards
Calling out
because
things on the shutdown. I saw her on
hmm
Bill Maher the other night. I saw that she went on The View. Um,
hmm
she handled some of the questions pretty good. I mean, I think they could
yeah,
have pushed her more on some of them. You know, she's definitely not on the side of the people on a lot of stuff, but she is coming out
hmm
and saying that it's BS about the about Republicans not funding the subsidies, about closing down the government. Um,
if you think about
Israel,
it,
she's come around on like Israel, yeah, Epstein files. You know, I'll take
yeah.
it.
So she's actually doing like what we you were talking about, which is like if Trump were smart, he would start
Right.
talking about some of these popular Democratic stances and
Hmm.
platforms, and she's actually doing that. So
Yeah,
is
because
Marjorie Taylor
Republicans
Greene
like it
actually
too. Like,
smarter than, yeah, right, exactly. It's just in a different package now.
hmm
So, she is up for reelection. Um, and so I care less about the why behind it, and I care more about people actually changing their tune and doing what's right.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, and I mean, I think it'll save her a congressional seat. I don't think she's running for U.S. Senate. Maybe she is. She'll probably have to do that soon. But, yeah, I, I think she's right be, because I think she's judging what's going on. She's listening to a lot of Republicans that voted for Trump. They we could all say that they voted for this because we heard Trump, saying how corrupt he was going to be and mass deportations and stuff. But like a lot of just people just didn't know, I guess, or didn't think that he would really do that.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a lot of buyer's remorse out there with Republican
hmm
voters. We even saw with Zoran, they had like MAGA or Trump voters for Zoran.
hmm
That so I think, especially in places like this, they thought he was magically going to fix the economy because he's a business guy, and they're seeing that really he's just stuffing his own pockets and basically leaving everybody else screwed.
Yeah.
And they
Which
came
is
out
how
voting
he
for
run,
him.
which is how he run all of his businesses, by the way.
Exactly. Well, we knew we were telling them they didn't
Yeah.
listen to us.
Mm-mm.
But now they're seeing like, and I think they're questioning even the Republican Party altogether because they've seen it change, became the MAGA party, and we're finding out that the Republican Party is nothing but a stuff Trump's pockets party. I
hmm
think everybody's seeing that now, and a party of fascism and fear.
Racism,
It's not
fear.
helping. Yeah, so
hmm
I think things are changing. Marjorie Taylor Greene knows that. She's smart enough to know that and to have a little bit of courage to stand up to Trump about it. But all the rest of the Republicans are so feckless. I mean, they just fall in
And
line. They forget to follow Trump right off the cliff.
let me also point out, Marjorie is a woman. And I see day after day, it's the women on both sides are the ones that are on the front lines that are actually taking a stand and challenging Trump. It's always the women on the front lines. So
Yeah.
I hope she continues. We're all obviously confused by it, but we're also hoping she puts her money where her mouth is. Um,
Let's talk a little bit
okay.
about Louisiana here.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
Jeff Landry is fucking up everything in Louisiana,
You
and
don't
killing
say.
LSU. He's killing LSU. So a lot of people are saying, it's not because the big headlines were about like LSU sports. To me, it's more than the LSU sports. He's really trying to kill the institution at LSU, which he never attended LSU. Probably always wanted to, never did, but now he's big bad governor. He thinks he's Huey Long. Did you freeze, Danielle?
Hello.
Okay, it froze for a second. I don't know if it was yours or
Yeah.
mine.
I think it's my connection. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Jeff Landry like literally thinks he's Huey Long, which Huey Long was very progressive. He was corrupt, but he was very left wing progressive and kind of like helped
Socialist.
build LSU and stuff like that. He's so stupid. He Jeff Landry is really bad at politics. I'm realizing that. His approval ratings are like bottoming out. I mean, he's in the 30s.
Abysmal.
So like Democrats in Louisiana in 2027 with Jeff Landry on the ballot, I think have a really big chance to beat Jeff Landry and gain a lot of seats because he's so bad at politics. But yeah,
Hmm.
we were sitting, I think we just hired a president yesterday, but we were without a head coach of LSU, one of the top programs in the country. The athletic director, we probably had the best athletic director in the nation. We had been trying for like years to get Scott Woodward because I used to be into the football recruiting and stuff. I remember how much we wanted Scott Woodward, and it took so long. He's the one that hired Kim Mulkey, and he's a really good at what he does. Fired him, like that pissed off a lot of LSU fans that he's meddling in football, and he acts like he doesn't even know football. Like he's like the way he did his press conference the other day, like he was like saying some things that like made me think that did he just like learn about football like here in the past couple years because he's like I think that's what people are seeing. So he's pissing off Republicans. Most of the LSU football fans, a lot of football fans are leaning, and he's messing it all up. So
That's
I
a
say let him
that's
do
a
it.
line, and I'll say for Louisiana Republicans, that's a line you do not
You
cross.
do not you do not f with LSU football,
You cross the line on LSU football, and you will be dead to them.
and he's been doing it he's been making so many mistakes. If you remember, it was last year or the year before. He had what we call the curse of Omar. Do you remember the curse of Omar? I want to bring this
Oh,
back. So
the
when we were
tiger.
supposed to travel, he
That
wanted
poor
the LSU,
tiger.
he wanted Mike the Tiger to travel. I forgot where it was. And whenever like LSU vet staff said like, no, he doesn't travel, we
It's not
can't.
safe.
He's like went and bought another tiger named
A
Omar from
fake.
somewhere
A fake
else,
tiger.
a fake tiger, a fake Mike the Tiger, and like I think we ended up losing the game. It's like the curse of Omar again, him overstepping, and we have the memes of Jeff Landry and as the Tiger King. Like he's just doing some ridiculous things. I do not like LSU being hurt, but he is effing up Republican uh, public opinion in Louisiana. I'm all for that. But he's doing some other terrible things. He's bringing in all the turning point stuff. They're promoting, doing all, they bring in Candace Owens and everything to LSU campus. They've been flooding it with a lot of right wing speakers the last five
Wait,
years or
she
so.
did go? She did go?
She went a few years ago, but
Okay.
we have to understand like all these turning point people are funded by billionaires. It's not like they're just
Hmm.
of their own money traveling around giving speeches on good government and stuff. This is a propaganda campaign, and they've been really pushing it on LSU.
Which is
Um,
also what Marjorie Taylor Greene said on The View, by the way.
about what? What'd she
She
say?
said that these far right wing media personalities are funded by the
Yes.
billionaires and
Yeah.
company and like Heritage Foundation, etc.
Yes. Yeah, so this is not about free speech. This is moneyed back speech, all right, that they're funding these big tours and everything. They've been really pushing it on LSU. And they act like it's free speech, but they've been attacking professors. Jeff Landry has, and the Republicans have been pushing out good professors at LSU. Bob
Hmm.
Mann got
Robert
pushed
Mann.
out. Bob Mann, Ken Levy, a lawyer over there because he said something at pro Kamala.
Hmm.
They put pressure on our last president. They cut DEI programs at LSU. Like they are trying their best to kill LSU in every single way, and that is not good for the state of Louisiana. It's our biggest institution in the state, and Republicans are responsible for its downfall. And again, like we're having to get corporate. They keep cutting funding to LSU. Republicans have for
Hmm.
the last 20 years. We're losing staff. Tuition's getting higher and higher. I mean, that is how you kill LSU, and Republicans are doing it.
Yeah,
I just had to get
and
that out there because it
yes,
makes me so
well,
mad.
and it's not as easy. It's the same with the presidency. it's not like when there's a different administration that everything's just going to go back to the way it was. Like these are real life
It's going to take years
consequences
and years,
that it's going to
decades
take
to get it back.
years to correct. Um, yeah, again. Well, I'm glad you got that off your chest. It's one of those things where it's like watching a train wreck. Um, you can't keep your eyes off of it. And in this instance, we know that the wreck is the catalyst for something better to come. So it's kind of like, okay, I think everyone's kind of like at this complacent thing of like, go ahead and wreck it and like see what happens. Like let karma, let the pendulum swing. Obviously, nobody's giving up the fight, but it's something that I think people have kind of resoluted that it's probably going to happen. We all only have so much power. We can keep using that power, but I feel like I know it's gotta get worse from here.
Yeah. And again, it will get worse nationwide and in the state of Louisiana. And the Democrats are going to have to clean up a mess again. That's what
Mhm.
Democrats do. We we fix things, get the car running again, get it back on the road, and Republicans say, "Well, the Democrats aren't driving it fast enough, free market, blah blah blah. I
Mhm.
can get this baby running 100 miles an hour, and everybody will benefit."
It'll
They
trickle
get in the
down.
car, they get in the car and wreck it on the side of the road and destroy it worse and worse every time. And again, we get voted in to clean up the mess. It's hard for us to even implement what we need to do in our vision because we have to spend our entire first term or so just fixing the Republican messes.
Oh my
Hopefully,
gosh.
after this, after Jeff Landry, after Trump, so much unfortunately is going to be messed up. The Democrats hopefully can keep power for a long time and fix all these problems because it's stacking up by the day, and we will fix it. We do have a vision for the future. And I'm finally optimistic that because public opinion is changing, and I don't think it's going back towards the Republicans for a long time. So I think in the coming years we're going to have some more wins.
That's a perfect analogy. And, I was talking about control and, we all can only do so much ourselves individually. And what you and I are doing through our business, Generation Wealth, a wealth management firm, is we've been watching very closely what's been happening politically, economically this year. We've been researching similarities to the 1930s. Strategies. One of the things that is within our power is we have a couple hundred people who have entrusted their life savings to us to manage their wealth, and we do our best to tell them, and we tell them we're not in the business of making you rich. We're in the business of keeping you from becoming poor. And that fiduciary responsibility, which we do have, is to always act in our clients' best interests. And that's what we've been doing for our clients this year is preparing for a worst case scenario, looking at um, the field and saying, what can we do to help mitigate whatever potential hurdles and obstacles are coming? And so we're going to be sharing some of those strategies and talking about why we're worried, why we're a little hopeful, some common like pitfalls that people make with their money. And we'll do a Q&A. This is all going to be in a webinar, a free webinar next Wednesday, November 12th at noon Central Time. If you register and you can't make it live, you will be sent a link to the recording. So we just opened it up. Again, we have over 120 people registered. Um, so we'll include the link in the show notes here. So make sure you're subscribed to both of us. Go find that link and register. And we're really looking forward to next Wednesday.
And one other shout out, I will be speaking in New Orleans at the Shut the F Up Pack um, event. I think it's November 18th. I forgot the place in New Orleans in the evening time. Go look up on Instagram the STFU pack, and you'll see the flyer on there. And come out and meet us on the 18th.
Props to New York. Go
Yeah.
Blue Wave. Everyone ride this high for as long as you can. Enjoy the weather.
Nailed it.
Prioritize self-care. Um, get your Christmas decorations out early, whatever you need to do to be at peace and to experience joy. And Dustin and I are having a family camping trip. I mean, glamping. We're getting a cabin. We're gonna cook some gumbo
Yeah.
and we're gonna let our girls go Lord of the Flies. We're gonna go on
Yeah.
boat rides, uh, all of the fires, s'mores, all
Yeah.
of that.
Can't
So
wait.
that's what we're doing this weekend. So y'all take care, and hopefully next Friday we'll be back. Shouldn't have to reschedule it. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm
next
living
Thursday. I think we need to do next Thursday again because I'm going to be out Friday.
okay. I'm living hour by hour over here, so we'll keep y'all posted.
Same.
Okay, bye y'all. Thanks for tuning in and go register for the webinar. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.